Okay, please refer to my message, which I'm sending you now for Upwork as well, so you can see what I say and what I write, correct? So basically what is happening, the company name, the organization, which I should say, is Refalon Metrology Consortium. The products are, as you now know, spectrophotometer calibration standards. There are only 4 types of these products, which are photometric, wavelength, stray light, and spectral bandwidth, in parentheses resolution. Therefore, what I think would look good, and certainly your feedback would be appreciated, on the top horizontal menu bar, and by the way, we should not make it as wide, I think, we would put in the middle kind of spectrophotometer calibration standards, immediately underneath metrology grade, NIST traceable, ISO 17025 certified. And then again underneath, there would be already menu sections, right? Menu entries, photometric, wavelength, stray light, and the last option, spectral bandwidth / resolution. Plus, we have to have 2 additional sections: calibration kits, custom products, custom items, perhaps even would be better in this case. Okay, so this is the top horizontal bar. Now, in the middle, as you know, on the RMCS Canada website, there is a slider with different type of products. So what I already mentioned, as you might remember, that here instead of slider, we could make it like a horizontal drum, basically, where you can have some collage, combination of pictures and some important statements. For example, like our innovations, things like that, with different type of text. Background in the middle part, right, of the website. I would like to see something a little bit more appealing than this brownish kind of thing which you sent me, again, as a generic thing, I understand. So maybe you could invent some, very nice looking greenish, bluish, whatever else kind of lines, or maybe it makes sense, similar to how I did it on RMCS Canada website, on my main slide, to put a picture of a laboratory or something like that, it is the middle part, right? And in your initial design, the bottom part of your initial design are those calibration kits or sets, which actually is the same thing, right? Photometric linearity calibration. By the way, linearity is a part of photometric calibration. So photometric linearity could be in that section where it says photometric. You remember photometric, wavelength, stray light, and spectral bandwidth, right? So that photometric linearity business could be as a part of photometric group. Now, there is only one additional section, which is fluorescent calibration standards, right? So fluorescent calibration standards could be, again, it's a separate group. So what would be happening, imagine you have like 4 entries: photometric, wavelength, stray light, and spectral bandwidth. It's 4. Number 5 in the horizontal top menu bar, you would have calibration kits or calibration sets. And number 6, you would have fluorescent calibration standards, because it's kind of standalone group, basically say, right? If we do that, then in the bottom part of the website, there is really no necessity to put a lot of information. But what I do believe it makes sense to put, if you look at your initial design, you have the section kind of in the bottom, which says accreditations, right? So that name accreditation in this case would need to slightly change, but this idea like NIST traceable, ISO accredited, USP, Chapter 857 compliant in PH Euro, and reach requirements. Instead of met and exceeded, I would better say uh, reach requirements followed or addressed, or like, verbiage, I will think about it. But for now, that section accreditation, you can put it as is. Some icon perhaps would need to be improved, but that section is good to have. And underneath, you also added that section. We serve a wide range of industries, including uh, food, chemical, la, 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 la. I think this is also good. Now, the space between the accreditation section and we serve wide range of industries, in my opinion, is way too big. So we have to put it kind of those two sections much closer to each other, right? And so if we do that, then what happens? That section which you have now calibration services, right? So you're right that in general, right? Because there are two types of business activities. One business activity is manufacturing, right? All this wavelength, photometric, la la la. The second type of business activity are calibrations, right? And so that calibration services, I do think maybe you can find a place to put it also in that top horizontal menu bar. So based on what I tell you now, it seems to me that the top horizontal bar will be kind of loaded. But if you remove from that horizontal bar that login button, because I don't think it will be ever needed, and if you remove also home, because people can click on the company name to go to the home page, it's now common. So you would not have that home entry on the top horizontal menu bar. So what would happen, you would have four main things, right? Photometric, wavelength, stray light, and spectral bandwidth. Then you have calibration kits, which is number 5, menu entry, and number 6 would be calibration services, and number 7 or vice versa would be those fluorescent. So basically we would have 7 actually, seven menu entries on the top horizontal bar. And by the way, those buttons, right, those 7 entries, we can put into rows as well. Again, it's an idea of what could be done, correct? And so basically, what I think now, when I look at your initial website, maybe, by the way, it makes sense to put into that dynamically rotating, as an example, horizontal drum, right, with different type of, it's like a slider things. On that slider, by the way, we can put those things from the bottom, meaning instead of saying that all these calibration standards, NIST traceable, ISO accredited, la 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 la, all that could be on that horizontal rotating slider. The same thing as with industries, right? We serve a wide range of industries included. It could be on that rotating piece. And if you do it that way, then what happens, your homepage will not be long, which is good because if you want to make it mobile friendly, right? Then you don't want it to be very long because otherwise, change from the desktop version to mobile version would not be as easy. Okay, that's it. So basically, I'm done. I hope you understand now the way I see it. So now, if you combine the way I see it with your experience, maybe would be able to improve your initial design to make it, such that it would incorporate these comments which I made now. Okay, thank you for listening, and I look forward to hear from you on all the above.